Pro contra ideias e assunto, ideologia, política, justiça, defesa, segurança, economia, social, educação no cultura, exclusivo, crítico no construtivo, TVE debate, sai inspiração para o futuro.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me again to the next session of English High School Debating. Here with me on the stage is from Escola Colégio São José Operário and also from Escola AN-NUR. So before we would like to start the debate, the motion that is going to be raised by these debaters is same with the first session. Without further ado, I would like to give a chance to our debaters to introduce themselves. Start with Escola São José Operário. Time is given.
Well, thank you. First of all, our respect to the judges and all audience who participate in here, and for those who are still watching us right now, good afternoon all. My name is Jeda Veldia, and this is my friend, Joaninha Fernandez, and we are from Colégio São José Operário. And the motion that we're going to debate is, what is the main cause of education system that implicated the quality of teaching and learning that have been lowered during independence? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. We are going to give an opportunity to Escola High School AN-NUR as well to introduce themselves. Time is given.
Thank you. We would like to give our respect to honorable judges, our audiences at home, and participants. Good afternoon. My name is Siana Rentida Cruz Amaral.
I am Jelia Carla Barreto.
We are from Senior High School AN-NUR. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce the topic of this debate. The topic is, what is the main cause of education system that implicated the quality of teaching and learning that have been lowered during independence? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. In this debating session, we're going to have first segment as well, so without further ado, we would like to start with the first segment. I would like to give an opportunity to Escola High School AN-NUR to go with their argument. Time is given.
Thank you. As we know, education is the way to transform human being from unskilled to be skilled. It means that the education should be qualified for each country, including our beloved country, East Timor. Actually, the quality of education became low during the East Timor independence because it is impacted by many points in teaching and learning process.
The points which implicate teaching and learning process. First, classroom for students. In this case, the classroom did not enough for the students to learn well because more than 60 students are learning together in the one classroom. It means that the government needs to open more classrooms for each school based on the amount of the students is on school every year. The second, no help materials like chairs for students to access during learning process. Moreover, some of students are sitting on the floor to participate in teaching and learning process as a struggle for the future. In the points, the government needs to calculate for students and produce more proper chairs for each student to access teaching and learning well. The third, no laboratory for each school. Most of the schools in East Timor have no laboratory. You guys know about the laboratory of the each school. It can implicate the student to practice what they have learned. The government of East Timor, especially the Ministry of Education, need to build a library Yes. Oh, laboratory for each school because it can help to students can use the scientific practice. Thank you.
You still have time. Would you like to add more? Use your time wisely.
Well, thank you. And there's also some problems that implicated the quality of teaching and learning that have been lowered during the independence. For an example, the salary of all the teachers there are not satisfying. And also, some of the schools, for an example, all the students' guidance books from the Ministry of Education are writing in Portuguese language, but most of the teachers explain in different language, for example, like Indonesian language or Tetum language. Thank you.
So much. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. Now we are going to give an opportunity to the Escola São José Operário to raise their motion. Time is given.
Well, we would like to define short definition about the quality of education. Ladies and gentlemen, the quality of education system is providing stability in life, and it is something that no one can ever take from you. By being well educated and holding a college degree, the children can increase their chance for career and opportunities and open up the doors for themselves. Now we have to look to now we would like to mention that what is the main cause of education system that implicated the quality of teaching and learning that have been lowered during independence. Right now, there are many students that haven't access to adequate education. Their causes are, first, students' economic background. In the public schools, some of the students still use their uniform out of the school's hours just because they are in the training since children to find food and livelihood for themselves rather than focusing on education. It is because the economic factors in our nations. The second one is there aren't enough facilities. When we're talking about the condition of the schools in each municipality, today, totally rural areas had many problems with the facilities. Most of the students in the rural area, they do not have the adequate financial resources necessary to build schools. Providing schooling materials, along with recruiting and training teacher costs money, aid for low area generally is not sufficient enough to establish an education system for all the children. According to 2019 until 2020, national survey staged the biggest problems faced with implementing the curriculum were lack of materials. Thank you.
Like my friend said, education system means process of educating and educate. Education is the learning of knowledge, skill, and the habit of a group of people that are passed down of one generation to the next through teaching, training, or research. From this, we know that quality of education system can be implicated when the process of teaching and learning does not go well. Now we are going to the mention about facts and points of the quality of education systems that have been lowered in East Timor during independence. Ladies and gentlemen, the facts and points are: first, if the school in East Timor lacks facilities, and the second is that the teacher teach children with children them. Third is the government doesn't preoccupy enough of the state of the school facility in the village or the rural areas. We also have to look at our teaching system, especially the system. Why we say like this? Because we know that some teachers teach children with violence, result students to become mentally deprived. Most of the teachers punish the students by giving them a corporal punishment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. We have passed the first sections. Now we are going to get to the next session, which is going to be a Q&A session that is going to be asked by me. So debaters, we talk about the quality of education. I would like to ask your point of view, the methodology that our teachers use in our education system. Do you think it is very important, do you think it is important for the teachers to have a good communication skills before they teach or during they teach? Do you think, again the question, understand well and answer the question. Do you think it is important for the teachers to have a good communication skills before they teach or during they teach? Both debaters, are you ready? Yes, I would like to give a chance to Escola São José Operário to answer the question first. Time is given.
Sorry, actually I'm not hear the questions. Yeah.
Allowed to, debaters, you are allowed to ask. If you don't understand the question, you are allowed to ask me to elaborate on that question. Thank you. So the question is, do you think, as a debaters and also as a students, do you think it is important for the teachers to have a good communication skills when they teach? Do you think teachers need to have a good communication skills when they teach? Do you get the question? Yes, I would like to start with Escola São José Operário. Time is given.
I think it is sure to introduce about that because the teacher have to communicate with the students because they will sharing the experience of the teacher of the teaching to the students. I think like that.
To add more?
And add about when with the teacher have this communication skill because most of teachers is teach children with the children or with the bad communication. That's why we need a professional or we need a training or government have to make a training for the teacher to make it have the capacity or ability communication skill. That's it. Thank you.
So much. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. Now is Escola AN-NUR. Your time is given.
Well, thanks for the wonderful question. Yes, I think all the teachers have to have a good communication before they teach because in one classroom there's so many students that included maybe like 60 or 50 students. So the teachers must have a good communication because there's so many students and they have a different character. Some of the students are naughty and some are smarter and some are not. So I think the teachers must have a good communication with the students. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you still have time. Would you like to add more? You still have time. Yeah, so back to the question again. Do you think, as the students, does it importance, like if the lecturers or the teachers, when they are able to communicate well with the students, is it going to affect the students in terms of their quality or not? If the students doesn't have a good quality of communication, does it going to affect a student's quality? I would like to give a chance to Escola AN-NUR first.
Well, thank you. Yes, I think this is affected by all the students because if the students doesn't have a good communication, they cannot, as example, if the teachers explain some kind of materials, example, they don't understand and they will not ask a question even they don't understand because they doesn't have a good communication with the teachers and with all of their friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Would you like to add more? You still have time. Yeah, since you don't want to use it, I would like to yell to the next debaters. Your time is given.
Thank you. I think this is what? Can you repeat it again?
Do you think, as an students, if the teachers doesn't have a good communication, doesn't have a good communication skills, does it going to affect the quality of the students? Do you understand the question?
Can I be fine? Well, I think if the teacher don't have some communication with the students, then maybe we have affected. I mean, yes, affected, because we know that the transmission directly from the material from the teachers to the students is really well-being wells. I think like that, Eugenio.
And I want to add about when the teachers does have not good communication, actually the director of the school have to get them, because we know that in the school we have to in the school teachers have to have the capacity to teach the student how to communicate formally, not to communicate bad. And teachers have moral attitude, not a bad moral. Teachers have respect for people, does not communicate bad. So the school director or the Minister of Education have to look from the teacher when they have bad communication. So that's it.
So much. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. We are going to the next segment, which is going to be a Q&A session as well, that is going to be asked by the debaters. So I would like to start with the Escola São José Operário to ask the question to Escola AN-NUR. Time is given.
Okay, thank you. Now we want to ask, and for the senior high school AN-NUR, about, you said that quality become low. So how to create a good education system in the Timor-Leste? I know you are a specialist as well. So that's it. Thank you.
The question is asking about, since you say that the quality of education in Timor-Leste is low, how would you like to erase, or how would you like to answer that quality that has low?
Well, thank you very much. Related to the question, yeah, I will say yes, because we can see that in our country, East Timor, the system that implicated the quality of teaching and learning has been low during the independence. We can say, for example, in other schools, there's no laboratory, library, and also maybe like bathroom, they don't have it or doesn't exist it at the school. And also the teachers,
we not ask to example, but we say how to create this.
okay, so I will say why I say that the education system is low, because I feel it. In my school, in my senior high school, we didn't have library and laboratory. So that's why I say that.
So we say how to create, but not to say example. Create, not to say create, not to say that example of the, we don't say to, so we said how to create a good education in East Timor.
Question. Since you guys have mentioned that these are the problems that you have mentioned, what would you like to give? What solution would you like to give to that problem that you have mentioned? For instance, you say that we don't have a library, we don't have a laboratory in your school, in our education system. How would you like to give a solution to that?
Thank you. I think the answer is about the government, especially Minister of Education. And also the directors of public school, because they have to create some library, for example, some library and a laboratory for the schools, so that the student can access all of this. And also the Minister of Education have to find out if there is no library or laboratory that exists in that school. Thank you.
Are they answering your question? Hopefully they are. Now I would like to give a chance to Escola AN-NUR to answer the question. To ask the question.
Well, thank you. You have said it about economy that aren't sufficient for all the students. And my question is, how about the public school? Because in the public school, they offer for students free. And also the scholarship that the government, especially Ministry of Education, that offered to all of the students that free. And my question is, how about the public school? If you say that the economy is the problem of the students aren't participate or study in school. Thank you.
Are you asking that the economy in our education system is good because the government is giving a scholarship or giving a free public school to all the students? But why are they saying that the economy is bad? Yes, they would like to ask you, would you like to elaborate, why do you say that the economy system in our country is bad, while in fact the government is giving a free education to Timorese people in a public school as well as in some private school?
Well, I'm sorry. Here in my arguments, I mentioned that it is happened in the rural areas, not in the inside area, but in the rural areas. So, when we know that exactly, right? In the rural area, there's a lack of economies. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Do you get the answer?
Yes, I get it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Please give them a round of applause. I would like to give one more chance. I would like to give one more chance to the debaters to ask a question to each other as well. So I would like to give a chance to Scholar AN-NUR, the debaters to ask a question to Scholar CSJO Operario. Time is given. While they're prepared, I would like to give a chance to Scholar CSJO Operario to ask the question.
Yes, in your arguments you mentioned that there's the point of the government that supported to the students. What is the point of the government that supported to the students?
Repeat it.
In your arguments, you say that the point of the government that supported the students. And what the kind of point of the government that supported the students?
In your argument, you say that the point of the government, or the purpose of the government, it is to support the education system. What kind of support system that the government is giving to the education system, improving our education system in Timor-Leste?
Thank you. Because we can see that the government offers some scholarship to all the students in our country, Timor-Leste. For example, scholarship to Japan, to United States of America. And that's why the government also give a public school to all the students in our country, East Timor, and also a scholarship. Thank you.
May I add some question? May I add one question? So, can you give
any follow-up question or a new question?
Want to ask a question?
If it's a new question, I would like to give a chance first to Scholar AN-NUR before you come with a new question. Time is given. Ask the question to the debaters.
Well, thank you. So here we're talking about the education system that have allowed during the independence. So my question is, how about your perception about the education system that have allowed in Timor-Leste, especially in rural area, because you mentioned about rural area. There is so many public schools, but most of the students, they don't want, or because of their community, but most of them, they don't want to participate in a school. Even the government has offered the public school. And how about your opinion or perception? Thank you.
Would you elaborate on that question again? Elaborate on your question.
My question is, so there mention about rural area, the education of rural area. My question is, most of the people, so the students in rural area, they aren't participate in education, even there is public schools. And the question is, why they aren't participate in the school or they aren't learning. Even the government has opened the public school, because you mentioned that there's a problem of economy. But I think there's no problem of economy, but they only don't want to land in the school. Thank you.
The question is asking that there is a public school that's provided by the government to the people who are in rural area. But the question is, why are there students in rural area still not want to go to school? What is your perspective?
Thank you. In here, the students, it is maybe it is lack of the facilities, like in the library and laboratorium. We know that the lack of facilities, the student, it can break the student, can break the mental of the student. I mean, not mental, can break the brain of the students, because we know that when every facilities is complete, we have really excited to teach. We're really excited to learn, and I think it is the simple answer is the lack of facilities.
The answer is that they say people are not going to school because there are lack of facility in public school. To get the answer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, please give them a round of applause. We are now get to the last session, which is going to be asked by the panelists to our debaters. I would like to give a chance first to our first panelist. Your time is given. You only ask one question.
Okay. Thank you, moderator, for the chance. My question is for the both sides. I'd like to ask about your point of view or your perspective regarding to what do you think that the role of the parents of family important to ensure the quality of the learning and teaching in our education system? Thank you.
The question is asking about, do you think our family or our parents plays an important role to improve the quality of education in our country? If it's yes, why? And if it's not, tell us the reason. I would like to give a chance first to Sekolah AN-NUR. Time is given.
Pardon, can you repeat it?
The question is asking about, do you think our parents, family, plays an important role to improve the quality of our education? If it's yes, why? And if it's not, why? Would you like to go first? Go with Sekolah CSJO Operario. Time is given. Would that be okay for you, friends, to go first? Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, it is really important, because between the students and with the students with the teachers, there's we have to add some communication between parents and teachers to not the miscommunication between their children to learn. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Would you like to add more? Yes.
I want to add, we have to rural areas. Most of parents in the rural area they want the daughter or son to school. Most because they lack economy. So that is a make rural area parents is not want to, and they want to their son or daughter to work. So that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. Sekolah AN-NUR, please.
Thank you. I would say that yes, because we also have non-formal education at home, and also our parents or our family must have a good communication with teachers, because we have non-formal education that our parents and family teach us at home how to be respect and how to be kind. But at school, we are learning about formal education that the teachers teach us. And that's why I think that our parents must have a good communication with our teachers, and I would say yes.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. Now we are going to give a chance to our second panelist to ask the question. Time is given.
Okay. Thank you so much again. As the opportunity is given to ask two questions, so I have two questions here.
Excuse me, you're only allowed to ask one question.
One question only?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, if so. As you all talking about the private school and public school, so my question is that as most of people like always comparing between private and public schools, so what is the quality or the differences between private and public schools?
Thank you so much. So the question is asking about what is the difference between the quality of private school and public school? Is there any difference? If it's yes, tell us the reason. If there is no difference, tell us the reason. I would like to start with Scholar AN-NUR. Time is given.
Well, thank you very much. I think the difference between public school and private school, we can say that is from all the students, because the students that study in private school, they was like, oh, they are a rich person, so they can study in private school. But for all the students that study in public school, the students that from private school, they will say that they are, they are poor persons, so that they study in public school. And also the problem is about the laboratory and library, because in public school, some of the schools doesn't have laboratory and also library. But in private schools, I think they have complete, and they also have laboratory and also library. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You still have time. Would you like to add more?
Different of a public school and private school. So in the public school is the system. So the public school, so many students in the classroom. In the private school, little students in the classroom. Of the teacher, teacher in the private school is so qualified than the public school, but the public school is the teacher is qualified also, but not refers to the students, because the students so many and then not attention to the teacher what is playing in the front. And then thank you.
So much. It is to sum up that the quality between private school and public school, there is a huge difference. So I would like to give a chance to Scholar CSJO to answer the question.
Thank you for the time. Now, indication is what is the difference of public school and the private school. I think our opinion that public school and the private school is the same school, but in the difference is the teacher qualification and the teacher is quality. Because in the private school, the teacher is a teach with the morality, the more morality. But in the public school, more the teacher or more the teacher not they want to teach children, but because of the salary, we know that of the salary of the government to the teacher is so very low. So that's it, the making motivation and the making motivation to teach the children in the public school so low and they not have the quality of education. So that's it.
Okay, I would like to give a chance to the debaters to add more if you have.
Yes, and here the difference between public schools and private schools. It is because of the public schools lacks of facilities and the public school lacks of facilities and the private schools providing the facilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the end session for today. I would like to remind you all that these debaters on the stage with me are still in a high school level, and they're able to come up with a very critical and logical manner to debate on this stage. So wherever you are who are accompanying us from live streaming, thank you for watching us, and we are going to come again with another session. So debaters, you may now shake your hands and off the stage.
contra ideias e assunto, ideologia, política, justiça, defesa, segurança, economia, social, educação no cultura, exclusivo, crítico no construtivo, TVE debate, sai inspiração para o futuro.